Greetings, it is Brother Man Trucking. This video is for entertainment purposes only. About 5 years ago, I was leased onto this company out of Columbus, Ohio, and I pulled a reefer trailer. So the way that I ran was I would get loaded somewhere in Pennsylvania, Maryland, New Jersey, Delaware, and I would take that load out to somewhere in Ohio, and then I would get a reload somewhere around Columbus, Ohio, or Springfield, or I don't know what's that those little cluster towns near Columbus, Ohio, even as far out as Springfield, Ohio. I think I got a load out of Coldwater, Ohio one time, or I think it's Hebron, Kentucky. I got a load out of there going back east. But anyway, so you get the idea. So I would just run back and forth. So I would take a load out, get loaded, come back, get another load, go out, get loaded again, come back. Now, for the most part, the appointment times were, they worked okay for the scheduling. Where you could take a 10-hour break, get loaded, get unloaded, and so on and so forth, with your 10-hour break in between. So, but that wasn't always the case. Now, this is the conversation I had with my dispatcher. I said, listen, I need to be home by Saturdays, meaning not on Saturday, not arriving on Saturday. I need to be home Friday afternoon, and I don't work on Saturdays. Saturdays are the Shabbats or the Sabbath days. I don't work Saturdays. So I don't care how hot the load is, I'm not taking it. So he knew this. He said he goes home on the weekend, and he needs to be done at some time during Friday so he can be home by Saturday. Set Friday night at the latest. So he knew this, and I didn't tell him this. I didn't tell him this part. And there was a certain number in my head that I wanted to make every week. So you have me all week, but when it comes to weekend, this is what I need to happen. So for the most part, it was fine. And sometimes I didn't make two trips. I could only make one, and then I would do something local around here or local up there to get me back here on the weekends. So sometimes scheduling was not always, I'll just say, convenient. So there was a short time span for, I don't remember how long it was. I want to say it was 2 weeks, a week and a half, 2 weeks. It might have been 2 weeks. And I'm running, turn and burn, back and forth. And it got to the point to where they're looking at me like, damn, you're back already? We just saw you. Yeah, I'm back. I mean, what's up? Yeah, the load's delivered. Where's my next load at? Come on now, stop playing. So we did that. So the one day, this was on let me see, I'll get loaded on a Monday, be up there on a Tuesday, be back here Wednesday, Thursday. So it was on a Thursday. I'm pretty sure it was on a Thursday. So I went in to get my load that would load at night or sometime in the afternoon to deliver Friday in the morning, or sometime Friday, usually in the morning or early afternoon, somewhere down around Philadelphia. I'll just say Philadelphia, somewhere around there. So my dispatcher, he says, you have to go in for a random drug test. So I was like, when? He's like, well, you should have it done this week. He's like, but I know you got to be home for the weekend. So just when you come back, you have to go in for a random. I was like, okay, yeah, no problem. Yeah, sure. Now, let me tell you, I was, without so many words, just reading between the lines, we was getting done. We were getting it done. So the people were not used to that. The people I was working for, they weren't used to it. Occasionally, you'll have somebody that did it, but then you have somebody that like did it consistently. It's like, whoa, hold on, let's check this guy's blood. Let's see what's in his system. Is he sucking on toothpicks? What's he got going on? So I went over to, I took the load out, and once I came back, the following week, I went over, they sent the appointment up to take my random. So I went in there. So here's what nobody tells you, at least that I haven't heard. If you're working with somebody and they send you in for a random, and I know what they tell you. They tell you, yeah, you're going in for a random. But if you look at the paperwork, it will tell you if it's random or if it's I think it's suspicious. I think it's suspicious. Yeah, well, the paper said suspicious. So, like I said, they thought I was, doing things, the trucker story things with the toothpicks and stuff like that. And, there was a song, something about a Freightliner. Oh, I don't remember. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, but the drug test came back clean. Why? Because I don't do drugs. I don't recommend that you do them either, but that's your business whether you do them or not. I never even smoked a joint before. So drugs weren't my thing. I hung around people that did drugs, and it was like, y'all wilding out. Guy talking about he ate mushrooms or something, and he's sitting in the living room, and he said the curtains are just going like this. I'm just sitting there, what? Is that fun? All right, I guess I'll take your word for it. So, yeah, I just thought I'd put that out there, man. That was one of them old truck driver stories, I guess. Well, not an old one, but I guess it's 5 years old, so, old enough. So, I know how to run. I know I'm watching some of the other YouTubers, man. They running. I used to run like that, but I don't need to now. Because the same I used to make back then, doing that, running my ass off, doing those 2 rounds, to Ohio and back. I think I was bringing home 20. I ain't going to inflate the number and say it's something crazy like 5,600. I think it was around 20, maybe somewhere between 2,000 to 2,300 after that was take home, after fuel and their fees and everything like that, which was decent money. But man, I'm telling you, you had to run, especially within a week's time. Let me say Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and a half a day on Friday. So that was getting it in, whether you had time on your clock or not. But that's all for this one. I just thought I'd put a little entertainment out there for you. See, this video is for entertainment purposes only. I'm a law-abiding citizen, soon to be a state national citizen of the United States of America.